Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. Before we get started, I want to tell you about Crossover Intelligence, which is a service for coaches and athletes that allow you to upload your game film, have it broken down, and return to you in a searchable format that you can share with anyone. So click over and check them out, it's really cool. Let's talk about the Mavericks because they're a very intriguing team, a terrific offensive team that gets great shots, which is a very valuable thing in the playoffs. Because remember, no matter how good your defense is, if you don't have an offense that can generate good shots down the stretch in a hostile arena in the playoffs, you're not going to win those series. So they have that in spades. I don't know what they do to Dirk Nowitzki to keep him moving up down the court, but he's having a really good year. Calderon is also having a great year. So they're a fun team to watch, and there are only a few things they need to be aware of to make the next jump. Let's start by looking at the Mavericks' overall offense. Synergy has them ranked 4th overall, while their offensive rating is 6th in the league. They do shoot extremely well from the field and take care of the ball, but they do not get offensive rebounds, nor do they shoot free throws. In fact, they've taken 109 more three-pointers than they have free throws. Dallas clearly has made their mark on offense by shooting the ball from the outside, and they do that quite well. The only place the Mavericks aren't above average in shooting is from the 20 to 24 foot range, where they rank 15th. Let's examine how they attack out of their offense. The pick and roll ball handler is by far their primary mode of attack, and Rick Carlisle has devised most of his sets as preludes to get one of the oldest plays in the book. Monta Ellis uses the majority of these plays, and is highly ranked because he's both a threat to pull up and get all the way to the basket. He's best attacking from the left side, allowing him right-handed drives to the middle, but he's versatile on pick and rolls from all spots on the floor. Vince Carter is more efficient overall than Monta Ellis. However, his right side pick and roll efficiency is way below what happens on top and on the left side. Jose Calderon uses the 3rd most pick and rolls, and he's merely average when attacking on the left side, slightly better from the top, but almost elite from the right side. As a natural outgrowth of all those pick and rolls, the Mavericks use the spot up 19% of the time and rank 6th in the league. Anchoring the spot up is Jose Calderon, who's in the midst of another incredible shooting year, threatening the 50-40-90 club, where he's already been a member. Dirk Nowitzki uses the 2nd most spot ups, but he has struggled a little bit in this area. Last year, he was in the 90th percentile, so I wouldn't be surprised to see his spot up numbers improve a bit as the season goes on. Monta Ellis has had trouble getting on track spotting up, struggling with both his shooting percentage and turning it over. Transition has been surprisingly effective for the Mavericks, although they run fewer than all but 5 teams in the league. Monta leads the charge down court and has done a great job of finishing plays on the fly. Sean Marion pops up as the 2nd most active player in transition and has been highly efficient, and it's in the open court where he can showcase his, well, unorthodox release. And even Dirk Nowitzki has dragged his old legs up the court in transition, and he leads the team in efficiency here. It's an opportunity for him in the delayed break to sprint to the three-point line and get open looks. The next category is pick and roll man, where there is a clear hierarchy. Dirk sets the most ball screens and has been very good, nullifying ice defense with his pick and pops, and ranks 7th overall and 6th in effective field goal percentage, minimum 65 possessions. He's terrific screening from the top and the left side of the floor, where he's elite after screening the ball. However, his rating sinks to average when he picks on the right side. DeJuan Blair has been rejuvenated on the roll, using 25% of the team's possessions. He's been above average mainly by rolling to the rim and getting the bounce pass and finish. And Samuel Dalembert makes an appearance by being an elite roll man. Interestingly enough, he gets free throws more often in these plays than any other Maverick by far. And he's helped the team by shooting 73% from the line, 3 points above his career average. The post-up has become an afterthought to the Mavericks, and clearly Dirk is the man who gets most of them. This has been a highly efficient play for Dirk, and something he should do much more of. While he's balanced in his attack on both the left and right block, he turns to shoot over his right shoulder almost exclusively. This makes sense since that's the way he can shoot his Dirk leg. It's safe to say the number of post-ups will increase as the playoffs start and the Mavericks need important buckets from their best offensive player. Those are the numbers. Now let's look at how the offense works to get those shots. By far the most prevalent method of attack is what I call the flow pick and roll, when the ball handler pushes the ball to the wing and a trailing big man sets a ball screen while the other three players spot up along the perimeter. This is a great way to catch the defense off guard since the big man guarding the screener is out of position after sprinting down the floor just to keep up. It's also the reason the Mavericks lead the league in pick and roll possessions. The only issue is that they're ranked 9th, which doesn't quite justify running it as much as they do. The high pick and roll is another very popular set and is effective in its simplicity. Get the ball to the middle of the floor, choose which side you want 2 spot-up shooters on, and have at it. They do have a number of high post sets as well, which serve to put a lot of pressure on the defense and get good spacing for their shooters. They are very successful running horns, though they don't run it very often, which is too bad because it's a great way to get Nowitzki and Calderon in a 2-man game. The Mavs love this interesting set where the guard sets a back screen for the high post before popping back out on top to get a screen and roll, usually with Nowitzki and usually with good results. Of course, there is the old standby cross screen for Dirk ISO in the post, where you'll see him turn over his right shoulder almost all the time. But Coach Carlisle isn't one to stick with the ho-hum, and I did see an intriguing set where they modified Hawk, a sideline screen and roll that turns into a double pin down for the ball screener. While they missed these shots, it's very clever and worth keeping around. Let's move over to the defensive side of the ball, where their fortunes haven't been as good. In order to compete for a championship, the Mavericks' defensive numbers must get within shouting distance of the top 10. While they steal the ball better than any other team per 48 minutes, it is concerning that they grab such a low percentage of defensive rebounds. But dive deeper into the numbers, and you realize that of their most used categories, it's transition defense that is holding them back. There is not much improvement needed in the important categories of pick and roll, ball handler, and spot up, as they do pretty well. So let's look at why they have such difficulty defending in transition. One reason is they're playing guys a lot of minutes who simply aren't fast, like Nowitzki, Carter, Blair, and Calderon, and they don't make the crazy athletic plays to stop the other team from scoring. Another issue is with Monta Ellis, who has a lot of trouble picking up the correct man in transition, sometimes seeming lost out there as the speed of the game is at its fastest, and often gambling to steal the ball instead of sprinting back to pick up the man in his area. He also has trouble stopping players in the open court, mainly due to his size. The only other troubling part of the Mavericks defense is how they defend the three-pointer and the amount of shooting fouls they commit. Interestingly, they do a decent job with three-point percentage, but they'd be wise to limit the amount of threes being taken on them. And they also must cut down on needless shooting fouls that give the other team easy opportunities to score. The Mavericks also employ a zone, and only the Bucks use it more. This is truly effective because other teams simply aren't used to seeing it, and it is creative as it looks like a 2-3 zone sometimes, but the rule is if the man in the forwards area cuts up top, he stays with him, forcing rotations like Monta Ellis coming from the guard spot to the forward spot on the other side. They also extend this defense out to half court, trapping the ball with their 2 guards, which should cause quite a bit of confusion and a lot more preparation for their opponents come playoff time. So there you have it, sports fans. They talk about Kobe doing all this cryogenic stuff, but I wonder what they do with Dirk because, man, the guy just keeps on ticking. And don't forget, Calderon's on his way to a 50-40-90 season as well. And the question now remains is, can they shore up their defense and then mainly in transition? Because if they can, no one is going to want to play them in the playoffs. They're going to slow it down. They're going to kind of muck it up a little bit, get you dragging through a fight. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't have enough experience to fight through that, then they have a chance to upset somebody in the playoffs, and it'll be a real exciting run. Well, thanks for joining us, sports fans. Don't forget, lots more coming up. Get on there on Twitter and follow us. We have a great conversation there every day. And don't forget, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You in?